Next, we have Marielle de la Cruz. Marielle de la Cruz is a Mexican 14-year-old girl studying ninth grade at Colegio Merici. She is passionate about music, learning, sports, and reading. She loves to travel and be immersed in different cultures. Though she is young, she's been able to achieve a great deal and is always motivated to challenge herself, which is why she's here today. She likes to demonstrate her leadership skills, and because of that, she was motivated to participate at this year's TEDx Youth. Her talk is Crossing Borders, Going Beyond Physical Boundaries of Nations and Cultures.
Imagine you were moving to a different country. You got a new job that you've always wanted, or perhaps you just wanted a change of scenery. Either way, you decided to leave. Maybe you have kids. If not, please imagine you do. How do you think they will feel when you tell them that you're moving to a different country? How do you think they will react when you tell them that they'll have to go beyond their boundaries in order to adapt? Imagine that person was you. Imagine that you were moving to a different country and did not know what your future had in store for you. Today, I'm going to talk about what it feels to migrate and the importance to go beyond your boundaries. But first, beyond boundaries, what does it mean? This is a topic that has a very different definition for each person. For me, to go beyond your boundaries means to step out of your comfort zone. It means to be open-minded and to be open to try new experiences. In my case, going beyond boundaries is something I have had quite a lot of experience in. I believe that the best way to do so is by migrating. Did you know that approximately 281 million people around the world are migrants? I know that it's shocking that so many people have moved around the world, and you could too. About 5 years ago, my dad got a big promotion, so we had to move to Costa Rica. At first, I was very scared. I loved my life the way it was in Mexico. I had great friends, and I loved spending time with my family, and I didn't want my life to change. But the pandemic had just started, and I was going to move whether I liked it or not. So by February of 2021, I found myself in a different country. No friends, no family. And we had just come out of a world pandemic, so I wasn't in the best position to adapt. But I was determined. I decided that I was going to go beyond my boundaries, and it was the best decision I have ever made. Not only did I make friends, but I was able to experience a great deal. I learned about different cultures. One of my closest friends was from China, and she didn't even speak Spanish. Anyway, I had a lot of fun. But eventually, I had to move back to Mexico. Now, my advice to you is that if you ever want to migrate, is to find a new hobby. I used to attend tennis lessons, and nowadays, there's some of the times that I cherish the most from when I was in Costa Rica. This is a great way to make new friends and to meet new people. I would also advise to you to keep an open mind, because after all, you're the one that's new in this different culture, and you have to be able to embrace it in order to fully adapt. Now I will give you some steps that you can follow in order to go beyond your boundaries. The first step is to be able to identify your boundaries. These are factors that hold you back, such as fear of change, perhaps. I used to have this fear of change because, as I mentioned before, I didn't want my life to change. I loved my life in Mexico. Now, the next step would be to identify your limits. These are different than boundaries, because limits are physical. Limits are factors in your life that you cannot control, such as money, occupation, age. I was able to identify that my limit was my young age. I was going to move to Costa Rica, whether I liked it or not, because it was a decision my parents have made. Now, the next step would be to either identify where a boundary is good for you or if it's bad for you. A boundary can be good for you. There are some boundaries that keep you safe, and these ones we have to have. On the other hand, there are some boundaries that are bad for you. These are the ones that hold you back from achieving your full potential. These are the ones that you have to break down. Next step would be able to, is to start breaking down this boundary. This process is very different for each person because it depends on your boundaries and your limits. In my case, I started making small changes, such as trying new food and trying new hobbies, all the way to the big ones, which were to move to Costa Rica. Finally, it's important to keep reminding yourself that you can do it. If you want to break this boundary, you have to keep a positive mindset because you can do it, and do not let anyone else tell you you can't. Now, have you ever wanted to do something but didn't do it because you were afraid? I want you to promise yourself that today you're going to start working to this thing that you've always wanted to do. If you are afraid, it's okay. There will be obstacles, but I know that you can do it because it's the first step to go beyond your boundaries. In conclusion, for me, to go beyond your boundaries means to step out of your comfort zone. It means to be open-minded and to try new experiences. I believe that the best way to go beyond your boundaries is by doing migration, but I know that not everyone can do it. But I would encourage you to go beyond your boundaries in your everyday life. As Sandra Guide once said, one does not discover new lands without consenting to lose sight of the shore for a very long time. Now, do you remember the girl who was petrified about moving to Costa Rica? Guess what? She was also afraid of doing public speaking. But here she is, showing you that if she can do it, you can too. Thank you for your time. Have a wonderful evening.